Which of these airports does in computing which of these songs was a which of these football teams which of these continents is predominantly Catholic? There is not a Nobel Prize. Drakensberger. Which of these words is nearest in meaning? Which of these do you need? Which of these US presidents took? Which of these acting day? In the book by Dr. Which of these have a particularly prominent? Which of these pairs of words? Which of these marathons? Which of these African countries? Which of these woodwind instruments? Syntax is spider silk is mainly made. Which of these films was released first? Which of these is another word for Which of these nicknames was applied to? Which of these games uses the Cifresh apple variety? What word describes in Australian you can fly as a matchmaker is a Isaac Newton is remembered as which of these? Which of these is usually ironed on the in physics Newton's? Which of these US sitcoms? Which of what month of the year is the word yam spelled backwards? The Swiss resort of Zermatt is at the foot of what mountain? Robert Van Winkle is the real name of which US rapper? An arborist is another name for what? What does the N represent in the TV crime drama NC? George Hepplewhite was famous for making what? When You Got It Flaunt It is a song from what musical? When You Got It Flaunt It is a song from what music? What is the largest Commonwealth country by area? How did Richard Nixon leave office in 1970? In the education acronym STEM, what does the M stand for? On a Jewish menu, what does the word Gefillt mean? The MTV Movie Award trophy is in the shape of what? What sort of shapes gave Post Malone a big hit in 2000? Which two of Henry VIII's wives were executed? Acer is the scientific name for which genus of trees? On a ship, where is the stern located? What was the original Star Wars film renamed in 1980? Antonio Stradivari was a famous maker of what instrument? Who was both the 22nd and the 24th president of? A pisciculturist specializes in what? Black Friday follows which day? Someone with the heebie-jeebies would be in a state of what? Matt Damon made his on-screen acting debut in what film? Canadian Kirk Stevens is a famous name in what sport? A frontal lobotomy was performed on what organ of the body? The astrological water signs are Scorpio, Cancer and what? Beelzebub was a god of what enemies of ancient Israel? Which Muppet